Have you ever wondered how your body naturally repairs and rejuvenates itself? It all comes down to your stem cells, your body's built-in repair system that renews tissue, restores balance, and helps you feel your best. But by age 30, you have up to 90% fewer stem cells in circulation. That's where Stem Regen comes in. Founded by stem cell scientist and health pioneer Christian Drapeau, Stem Regen products are designed to support your body's natural repair system by using science-backed, plant-based extracts. Just 2 capsules of Stem Regen releases an average of 10 million of your own stem cells into your body. No injections, just 2 capsules. Empower your body to rejuvenate from within, whether you're focused on recovery, longevity, or just overall wellness. Stem Regen can help release more of your health, more life, and more of the best version of you. Try it now at stemregen.co and use code POD15 for 15% off your first order. That's StemRegen, code POD15.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Love music?
We do too.
Well, if you ever feel like it's hard to keep up, though, don't worry. We're here to help.
Monday through Friday, Daily Music Headlines gets you the top happenings in music, from chart toppers, news releases, concert announcements, and more.
All in less than 5 minutes.
Don't miss out. Get the show at dailymusicheadlines.com.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
And I'm Dara, Laine Sussman.
And I'm actually very excited for today's episode because we haven't done this magazine, right? We haven't done this yet.
No, we really haven't done any of these gentlemen's. I mean, we did Playboy, but I don't put Playboy in the same category as these types of magazines. It's similar, but it's not quite the same to me. So let me ask you, what's your issue?
Okay, so before we get into it, yes, my issue is the April 2001 issue of Stuff magazine featuring, well, it's allegedly featuring Destiny's Child, but it's featuring Beyonce. Like, the cover is so ridiculous. It's just Beyonce, and then it's like, if you want to see the other girls, pull out the fold out.
Poor girls. Poor girls. They never stood a chance.
And I can't wait to talk about that ridiculous interview.
That interview, I can't wait.
But no, I agree with you. I think, I put Playboy on this, like, pedestal. Like, it's, like, in the top tier. And then all of the other men's magazines are kind of, like, spider graphing off of it. And some of them seem more low-hanging than the next.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Stuff magazine, the FHM, Maxim.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever read Stuff magazine?
I was realizing when I was going through it, like, I definitely am familiar because they got great people to be on the covers. Like, they always had really great, really, like, girls that were our interests, like Nicole Richie, Beyonce, like, so I did read it because they got the girls, but, like, it's when you go through it that you realize, oh, this is not for me. Like,
no.
This is not for my eyes. Like, I'm not the audience here. What about you?
I don't think I ever really read Stuff or FHM. I think it was sort of like, if perhaps, I stumbled upon it in a Barnes and Noble and there was a notable person on the cover, I would take a peek. But I did read Maxim because my dad had a subscription. And so, sometimes I'd sneak away to his bathroom to check it out.
Would you say that Maxim, because in my mind, like, the tier ranking would be, like, Playboy is the top, and then, like, I don't even know if I would put Hustler. Like, Hustler is almost its own thing.
Hustler, to me, is a pornography magazine. Like, I don't consider it necessarily in the same vein.
I don't either. Like, I would say it's, like, straight up porn, whereas like Playboy is not. And then I feel like next it would be Maxim.
I would agree with that.
And then, like, Stuff and, like, FHM and stuff, they just kind of dangle off of that. Like, they're not, like, the highest tier or, like, even the second highest tier.
Yeah, I kind of remember it. Yeah, like it was Maxim that was still had an air of respectability to it,
Hmm.
whereas I feel like Stuff and FHM were like, ugh, smut
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely more raunchy. It's like very snarky. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it has kind of a blender sense of humor. Like
I thought the exact same thing.
everything is like everything is a joke at everybody's expense. Like if you're in this magazine, you're probably being made fun of. You're
Mm-hmm.
probably being objectified. You're probably being told audience is being told that you're dumb. Like
You're either dumb or you're like gay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's so true. It's such like it's a real look into like the toxic masculinity of the early 2000s when you go through these pages.
I was also thinking these magazines, it's so crazy that there was this whole swath of time where all of our actresses had to be on the cover like lubed up in
Mhm.
grease in like a little bikini for like FHM and
Mhm.
stuff and Maxim, and it's like we do not have that today. There's no like, oh ladies, you need to do your stuff cover.
Mhm. I know. Like you could be like Michelle Williams and be like pulling your panties to the side on FHM
Yeah.
in 2002. Like that's like not a thing anymore.
No. Or like Melissa Joan Hart, Topanga from Boy Meets World. Here's your grease. Rub it all over yourself and get out there.
I know. It's crazy. And I was thinking too about like, obviously when these people get when when the writers of these magazines go out and like interview the celebrities that are on the cover or whatever, obviously the celebrities don't know what the article will be. And it's like, what does it feel like to be Destiny's Child and read, we're gonna get to their interview, but this interview where the guy is basically saying like they're dumb, they're vapid, they're hot, they're stupid, they dress like sluts, like it's just so crazy. Like it's not an honor at all, really, to be like featured.
No, it's to what end? It's like, why, as a young actress or musician, where your target audience is not this audience, like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the point of subjecting yourself to that when, I mean, sure, now some dudes will like be a little bit more aware of you, but I don't know. For what?
Yeah, and it's not like you're being paid $1 million. Like it is. It just, I guess, in 2001, it was just like a necessary evil, and maybe the assumption was like nobody's gonna read the articles anyway. Like people are just looking at these pictures.
I think that's true. And I also just think it's sort of like, these men that are in charge of all of these young women's careers being like, I don't know. It's such a drop in the bucket. And they're just like, I don't know. I want to see them lubed up on a cover of a magazine. Like, let's get her out there.
Mm-hmm. And it's what she does anyway. It's very like she's always naked. Let's get her naked on this cover.
Exactly. Like, I do think there's so much in the entertainment industry where it's just like, oh, I've decided you have to do this for the betterment of your career because it makes me horny.
Yeah, yeah. And just to give you guys an example of like the horniness that like just seeps out of this magazine in every page.
Oh,
The cover stories are vacation sex. You won't come home without it. Hot robot love. Literally, I read that article, an article about how we're so close to finally being able to fuck robots. Like, we've been lusting after robots for years. We all want to fuck the Svedka vodka robot, and now they're building ones that we can finally fuck. And then the Destiny's Child article is Destiny's Child, a date with music's hottest threesome. Like, it's just
ugh.
so like like this is the kind of shit that as a little gay boy I would buy it or like go to Barnes and Noble and sit with like a frappuccino and read it and be literally mortified and like angry but have nobody to tell cuz who's going to care.
Yeah, and we'll get to it when we talk about the article, but I just can't believe that Beyonce's dad would even want them in this.
I know.
Like, why? What is the point? Your daughter is now has her face next to like the music industry's hottest threesome. Is that what you want for her? It doesn't sound like it.
I know. It feels very off-brand. Even the interview feels like,
Off-brand.
what are we doing here? What are you doing here? And what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Should we get into some letters from the editor?
Let's do it. Letters to the editor, page 22 for the people, for the patsies following along on Patreon with the PDF.
Open your workbooks, girl.
So, Troy, we actually have a couple listener letter to the editors.
Ooh.
One is from a 5-star Apple Podcasts review.
We
So
love
just a
that.
reminder, yes, we love it. You can leave a 5-star review with a letter to the editor. And then the other is a comment on last week's episode on Spotify.
Okay.
So our Apple Podcast 5-star review is, Dear Dara and Troy, I felt the need to write after I encountered a true nightmare scenario. A long overdue hair appointment was approaching, and I, feeling nostalgic and flat out old, I'm a 34-year-old caving to my grays, went in search of a magazine to read. Blast! None to be found at the local 5 and Dime, none at the Convenience Mart, not even at the beauty shop itself. Thank you for your continued work as true historians. May future generations know the pleasure of a page flip while sitting with a head full of foils. And if it is not to be, may they know the sound of you both doing so for them. Beautiful.
Like, setting the tone with the beauty shop thing. Like,
Oh,
I love a doctor's office mag. I love, like, a waiting room mag, but there's just something different about reading a magazine at the beauty shop, honey. Ooh, God, that scratches an itch for me.
ooh, I mean, to be able to sit with a stack because you know you've got time, it's not just stealing a few moments in the waiting room at the doctor's office where you could be getting to the good stuff and then your name's called, you got to put it away. Oh, tabloids.
It's so God. Hair magazines. And like, that's, when else are you going to read a hair magazine? Like, with, you know, it's like amazing.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it. It used to be easier to go to things, to go to appointments, because you knew at least you had this little treat.
Yes. I want to look at a 1993 hair magazine and get completely lost in it.
And I remember getting so excited when you'd go to the hairdresser's or doctor's office and they have a magazine that's like, 3-6 months old, and it was one that you missed. It was like, oh my God, I had meant to buy that like W mag with Kiki Dunst on the cover, and I never got around to it, and now it's gone. And it's like, it's right here.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, you're so right. Oh my God. Somebody invite me to the hair appointment, Dara.
Honey, you're coming.
I love going to hair appointments with people. I do.
Oh, I love it. And then you can like jump in and curl my hair at the end.
Yeah, I slap the hairdresser's hand away. I'm like, I've got it from here.
I don't like the way you're doing it. Get out.
I know what my doll likes.
So thank you for that. That was so eloquent and really painted a picture. And then the other one from Spotify, very interesting. So in our last episode, we discussed if there were to be a new city of housewives and how they were talking about doing a San Francisco housewives. And Troy and I were quite skeptical. We said, do we really need a third group of California women? Like, what else do we need to hear from them?
Right.
And M. Campos 1022 said, just an FYI, 1/3 of San Francisco is Asian, the city that has the biggest Lunar New Year parade in the country. My friend knows girls who were reached out to in SF for Real Housewives, and they are glam, crazy, rich Asian types. Just putting respect on SF's name. The uber wealthy tech wives aren't even in SF so much as they are in Silicon Valley / Woodside, Atherton area. Asian women are chic and glam, and I love them. And so do we.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it that way.
I never even considered that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
awesome. I think that's what we need.
Yeah. Now that I'm like seeing it in my head, like that is really, we do desperately need that on Bravo. It would be so, and it would be such like a separation of culture from like any of the other cities.
Yes.
Like the definition of, I think the best Bravo shows are when they capture a world that already exists that you just get lost in. That would be just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, we haven't seen it before. So I'm on board. Thank you, M. Campos, for enlightening us. We're two ignorant bitches, and now we know.
You can't expect too much from a couple of bimbos.
No, sorry. But you guys can keep us honest.
Yeah. You girls keep us accountable. I have our first letter to the editor from Stuff Magazine. Now, Stuff responds to their letters to the editor in the magazine. Some magazines don't do that, and I just find that to be a nice touch. So this is via
I kind
email.
of wish we could respond to like reviews and stuff on our, because sometimes some people need to be told what's what.
Hello. Some girls are hiding behind their little phones. This is titled Bacon Bits, and it's sent from Pete DeMighty via email. I'm sure he has a giant penis and is very confident. In the February issue, you have a Name This Pig contest. You say to go to the website to enter a name. I went there. I couldn't find anything about a goddamn pig name fucking contest. What the fuck? I love your fucking magazine and the website, but what is this? Trickery? God damn it. I want to name the goddamn pig. Please let me know how before it's too late. I love that damn pig, and I deserve a fucking chance. I have what I feel is a good name, and I feel very tricked. And they said, this is their response. They said, speaking of pigs, you know what makes us feel better when we're feeling tricked, Pete? Rolling around in our own filth. Remember, you need a computer to access the website, which is stuffmagazine.com. Try again. What? Men's magazines are insane. You just never know what you're going to get.
The letters from in the men's magazines, because they are from men, it does just seem like a lot of incompetent dudes being like, what's going on?
Yeah. They're like, step one, open a computer.
Yeah, you don't get this sort of vitriol over just like, you told me that there was one thing, but then it's another. Like, you don't get that from the women's magazines. Like, they just move on with their day.
No, 1000%. And you'll get like a letter that's like, I love that cover. What a powerful, strong message that was sent. She's so great. I love the outfit. Like, it's always so like well thought out and like,
yes,
you know, whatever. And the men's ones are always so stupid. I love it.
And I feel like they're always trying to be funny, and I just don't think men should try to be funny. It's not a good lick.
It's a slippery slope.
Okay.
They have a letter of the month in their letters to the editor, which I think is fun. So this is from, I think it says Kelly Anderson in the Bronx. It's a little old. It says, thank you for that article on the mountain climbers and their frostbite. Jack Frost kicked my ass in the October issue. I teach high school English in the South Bronx. I used your story in class after we finished reading To Build a Fire by Jack London. My students were fascinated by the pictures of frostbite. I love stuff, but I never thought that I could use the magazine for educational purposes. You guys never failed to surprise me. And they said, if you think you're surprised now, just wait until our editor shows up at your school in his terry cloth robe to give you your 2 pairs of Doc Marten street collection shoes worth $250. Feed him cookies, and Mr. Roby comes off. Trust us, it's worth the cookies. Now, what? What? You use Stuff Magazine to teach a class about frostbite?
Also, I feel like their response is assuming that someone named Kelly, who is a teacher, has to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
When there are male Kellys, okay, yeah. And there are male teachers.
They're like, Kelly, do us a favor and do jumping jacks in a wet t-shirt. Thanks.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know how many lady teachers are going so far as to bring in their personal collection Stuff Magazine articles to teach their class. That seems more of like coming from the mind of a man.
Very much that. Very, very much that. Next, we're going to be jumping over to page 72, which is titled, All Aboard the SS Kinky.
Oh, God.
It says 3 women put the X in experimental, and Stuff's sexologist, Dawn Yennick, is there to record all the details. So yeah, these are sex stories they're sex stories.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about it is they don't really give you any lead up as to who these 3 kinky experimental girls are, except for in the picture at the top, they have 4 women and they mention who 3 of them are. And it's like, Kayla, 29. She's a PR consultant. One of them's 22 and an accountant, and the other is 26 and an advertising executive. And I feel like these are either stock photos or like these are actually, pornographic actresses, because there is no way some 23-year-old accountant is clamoring to say these things on record just so she can get fired from her corporate job.
Right, yeah, to be barely credited.
No. With your actual face in the magazine.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's it's also just so interesting to read stuff like this in a men's magazine, because you really get an idea of like what men really find sexy, or like what men are like truly attracted to, or like it's like tell your sexiest story, and like what they think the sexiest story. It's just so like it very much gives Men Are From Mars, you know the rest. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, this is just so foreign to me, but I love reading it because it makes me feel like I'm at like a barber shop or something and nobody knows I'm there.
I will say though, so much of it does feel like that, but then there's a part of it towards the end of the article where it actually reminds me so much of Cosmo and their advice that's like,
yes,
now get a hairbrush and run it through his pubes and that will make him go crazy. And it's like, what? You don't need to put this much creativity in here. One of the girls talks about how she likes to put together a sex scavenger hunt for her man, where it's like, he actually has to, not just like around the apartment, like he actually has to go out into the world and meet people and find people, and they give him more clues. It's like, what do you, and then she goes, I wish that my man would do stuff like that for me. It shows that he cares, but I'll just do it for him. It's like, you are hoping to get a thoughtful sex scavenger hunt? You deserve so much more than that, honey.
In what world do you think a man who will put his penis in any wet hole that exists wants to do a scavenger hunt that leads to sex?
Also, what woman would want to do that? Could you imagine? I could not imagine if someone was like, you're doing a scavenger hunt. I suppose there are some people that are scavenger hunt people. I decidedly am not.
I know those people, but I know scavenger hunt people, by the way. I really do.
And they are a people. And
yeah.
I bless them, but that is not, we don't cross paths too often.
My old roommate in college, her family, she comes from a scavenger hunt family, which I, as a Black person, didn't even know existed until I met her. And for their birthdays every year, which I will say this was like really fun because it was like so foreign to me, but for their birthdays every year, they're from Buffalo. So like we would all go to Buffalo and they would do like a Buffalo scavenger hunt. Everybody would get broken up into groups and it would be like, go to Krispy Kreme and take a picture in a Krispy Kreme hat, go to Chuck E. Cheese and take a picture with Chucky, go to whatever. And it would force you to have this like wild day together.
Cute.
And it ended up being fun, but like it is a culture. Like there are people who are very much into scavenger hunts.
Those types of people are people who are like, I love just making conversation with strangers. And I am not that person. Like, if you tell me, okay, my idea of fun is making you go like embarrass yourself in public by like
Yeah.
asking, some guy to like to carry you, hold you like a baby while you recite the national anthem. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. That's not my idea of fun.
Like, sir, could you dip me into a romantic kiss really quick? It's a scavenger hunt.
Oh my God. I remember when I made the ill-advised decision to rush a sorority in college, and one night they had us doing scavenger hunt type shit, and I like kind of just like, no.
They're like, Dara, you have to get up and move to be involved.
They're like, you have to go run out into the street and find a guy and ask him to come in to the party as your date. And I was like, I will not be doing that. I called someone I knew and was like, can you come over here real quick? I need to bring you upstairs. I will not be finding some stranger.
I'm currently paying for friends right now. Could you do me a quick favor? Oh, I just want to read this. So one of the women that they talked to, her name is Dawn, allegedly. And they ask her, tell us about your wildest sex adventure. She says, this is like so much giving Carlton vibes from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's like, I've had sex on a sex swing twice. The first time was at a park. I had a skirt on and was sitting on top of this guy. The penetration was so deep. It was great. The second time, it was at a couple's resort in Jamaica on this naked island. You had to check your clothes when you got off the ferry. And when we were having sex, people were watching us in the distance, which made it even better. And then Aubrey says, these are like all of the women. Aubrey says, I had sex in Giant Stadium. And then, like, that's not sexy at all. At an INXS concert, we were in the stairwell up against the cement wall. It was really gritty and people were walking by. That's public indecency.
Yeah, like you ladies, you need to get on a mood stabilizer, I think. You need to calm the fuck down.
They're like, we fucked on the Jumbotron. The whole stadium watched in horror. Who else? And then we have Kayla. She said, I go to orgy parties. The people are beautiful. Not like at a sex club. After my first one, all I could say was, I was breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 50 people. Man, I was just served up raw. Like, this is like that's what men want to hear women say shit like that.
I'm just trying to picture this sexologist just showing up and being like, okay, like, I'm just chit-chatting and writing it down. It seems like so much work for something that you could just make up.
No, it's fully made up, and also just so like this is what you like gathered a group of women to talk about.
It's also not particularly kinky. It's not like, oh, we are talking to a dominatrix and, people who are actually within a kink community and like, oh, and we're learning about the kink. It's just we're listening to some ladies talk about how they like to fuck in public.
No, for sure. That's exactly what I mean, because I love listening to people. I actually am very fascinated by people who do work sex events.
Yeah.
And I love listening to people talk about like even like the New York City sex parties that people go to, and like, I'd like live for that shit. I mean, look, I'm a former real sex watcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
baby.
This is where we thrive, but it's like, it's not particularly kinky to be like, I got fucked in the stairwell at Giant Stadium. Ooh, it was gritty.
Also not particularly kinky to be like, and yeah, I can't really have threesomes because I'll claw out the eyes of any other woman who gets within 6 feet of my boyfriend's dick. But oh boy, I'm so kinky and crazy.
One time I put on literally a quote, I wore a red wig and leather teddy, and I waited for him to come home. Oh wow, you crazy minx. You crazy, crazy wild woman. You put on a red wig.
And they do they have them talking about going to a swingers resort. Kayla knows the difference between the clientele of an orgy party and a sex club. How about we just drill down on those?
Right.
Let's explore that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And I love after Kayla says that she was served up raw, Dawn goes, wow, like sushi.
Ugh.
How can you spice things up after you've been with your guy for a while? And Kayla says, surprises work well. When I was acting years ago, I had to wear a red wig and green contacts for a film.
Yeah,
One
what
night I
film
wore
was
them-
that?
Girl. One night I wore them with a leather teddy. I got a whip and went, sorry, it's like, then just waited for my boyfriend to come home. When he walked in, he was psyched. Everyone should try that. It's guilt-free because you're not doing anything weird. You can just say, oh, that wasn't me. That was the slut with the red hair.
Oh, this part has wild sex ever landed you in the ER? And Audrey says, you can also get freezer burn in those areas. That happened a few years ago with my dick in the glass friend. You know, the guy you sleep with when you don't have a boyfriend. Oh yeah, that old saying, dick in the glass friend.
Is that a saying?
No, I've never heard it, but I don't. And anyway, we were playing pool, and whoever won got to blindfold the other person and try anything. He won and decided to get funky with frozen things from the freezer. Hot dogs, string beans, you name it. I had frostbite for a week.
String beans?
Also,
What are
what
we
psychopath
talking about?
is like, ooh, let's get funky. I'm going to go get frozen items. That doesn't sound like he is considering this for anyone's pleasure. Just like, let's see what I can do to this woman.
Imagine taking off your blindfold and looking down and a man is putting frozen green beans inside your vagina.
Like, good Lord.
I also love this one. Kayla said, I'll bring girls home for my man, but I like to watch or participate. I don't want anyone screwing without me there. And I never get jealous because the girls aren't my boyfriend's type. I'll bring home gorgeous little blondes, so neither of us get too attached. Oh, I'm sure that keeps him at bay.
Mhm.
They're just gorgeous little blondes. It's not his type.
Oh, good God. And, you know, of course, we're not, we couldn't be kink shaming these delightful women. Just, you know, when you're reaching for the frozen food items, I think we are allowed to start judging.
Honey, are those frozen green beans?
Oh, God.
He's like, they sure are.
Kayla says, oral sex can be really painful after you've eaten spicy buffalo wings, even if you've eaten them hours before. Now, that's a good tip. She says, brush your teeth first. That's practical advice.
That is quite practical. It's something a man would never think about if he ate really hot, atomic hot wings and goes to, like, go down on you. I love it. You can't do a magazine. We can't cover a magazine like this and not highlight the sex articles like this because it's like
No.
weirdly what this is built on.
And I can't imagine. I guess I always have to remember to put this within the context of the times. This is 2001. Internet porn is not thriving as it is today. So this little, you know, cheeky little interview, that was horny. That was horny to guys.
Yeah. I also try and keep in mind that, like, every men's magazine, in the same way that, you know, women's magazines are catering to specific women, like, you know, Teen Vogue is not catering to the nylon girl necessarily, right? It's like where Playboy is like catering to this distinguished gentleman who smokes cigars and is well read and cares about politics and race culture and all that stuff. Stuff is catering to like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. College boy Joe Rogan's. Also, another thing to always keep in mind is magazines like this, they're also trying to fill space from month to month, and they just regurgitate this shit, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
We need a couple pages filled up with something sexy, and who cares?
Yeah, and men aren't reading this. Like, they're not reading the article in the Stuff magazine about, like, women say the kinkiest things. You know, like, they're just not.
The people reading it, it's like the sons of the guys who actually have the subscription, and they're just like taking it and they're like, oh wow. Ooh.
Yeah, for sure. It's so interesting. It's like fun when you're reading a magazine that you're not super familiar with to figure out like who they're talking to. And like,
Yeah.
it's very clear who Stuff Magazine is talking to. And it ain't us.
It's not everything is for us, and that is okay.
Exactly. Speaking of things that are for us, should we talk about Destiny's Child? I will say they look stunning.
Gorgeous.
Like, they are photoshopped to hell. They're oiled up. I mean, they look really good. I will admit that.
We start on, what is it, 84? And this article is wild.
It's pretty crazy. It really is. Important to note that the interview takes place during the filming of the music video for Survivor. So the interviewer is like, he just shows up on set. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows why he's there. I don't think any of them knew that they were doing this interview. And he's just sort of trying to get a couple words in with the girls, and like nobody cares that he's there.
I will say, I hated how much of this man's voice was in this, like his sense of humor. But I feel like he really did paint a picture of how absolutely awkward this must have been. Like, I feel like I can really see just this man, probably some like dork white guy writer, just like standing around like, where do I go?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, because he's a guy, nobody is particularly excited to have him around. Like, the bodyguards are kind of giving him dirty looks, and, you know, Matthew Knowles is like looking through him. Like, he's just, it's really funny. It's hilarious, actually. Also, I feel like important to note before we read any quotes from this, he is also annoying as fuck.
Oh my God.
This guy is like literally so. What is his name? His name is Jonathan Small.
Yeah, I'll bet it is.
Yeah. And he is irritating. He is so annoying. Like, he's sexist. I mean, he has the exact kind of vibe that you would think. Like, the interview is like very sexist. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, there's like an assumption that Destiny's Child is, they're just like these idiots that are hot, and like he makes fun of their video.
And he insults David Arquette. Like, leave him out of this.
Yeah, David caught a stray.
Like, come on. He said, you'll also be seeing them in L'Oreal and a 1-800-CALL-ATT ads, driving a final merciful nail into David Arquette's obnoxious career. Come on. Leave him alone.
There's a part where he goes, this is like kind of at the beginning. He goes, quick summary for the video's quote plot. The girls are shipwrecked on an island where they find ready-to-wear animal fur bikinis, apparently from an abandoned Victoria's Secret outlet. They are soon observed by a native man with fat abs. He leads them to ancient ruins where they discover more natives with fat abs, dressed in army fatigues. They dance a lot. You wonder what will happen next. Then they're rescued by a helicopter. It's Castaway meets MTV Beach Party. In other words, it can't miss. It's like, not you making fun of what will go on to be like a defining music video of this time and of MTV, which you mentioned.
It doesn't have a plot. It's a music video.
Yeah. Like, and they do have a plot, and they explain the plot to him during the interview, where they're like, people were making fun of us and calling us Survivor, and that's the joke. Like, we survived having all this commentary around us by people like you.
He also has a little homophobic joke, of course. He says that, someone on a walkie-talkie says, talent walking. It sure is, chirps a makeup artist who undoubtedly has every episode of Will and Grace on tape.
What do you have on tape, sir?
Sir.
God! This is why none of us would come out of the closet in the early 2000s. We were all too scared of men like this.
Also, if you're going to make a gay joke, can it at least be good? Can it at least be clever? Oh, he has every episode of Will and Grace on tape. He's just sitting there VHS recording every single episode of Will and Grace, of 25 episode seasons.
There are gay people on other shows. He's like, yeah, Will and Grace. Like, it's like the one show that you can think of. I'm surprised he didn't say like Queer as Folk or something.
Oh, he doesn't even know what Queer as Folk is.
I do want to read this little section. So again, this is obviously they're filming the Survivor video, so this is the height of like them losing members. They are a laughing stock all over the country. Every late night host is doing their Destiny's Child joke. Like, it's like they're kind of it's like the lowest hanging fruit, but it's like almost so in our faces that you can't not make a joke about it. Like you can't be Jay Leno and like not make a joke about it. And they also are heavily discussing Matthew Knowles, who was like kind of at this time known as like an abusive manager, but for some reason it was like okay because it was like, well, he made Beyonce and she's so great,
and it's like, and it's her dad, you know, it's like, yeah, you're allowed to do what you want with your own kid.
No, literally, it's like, well, at least it's her dad and it's not some stranger. Like that was the vibe, and it's like, well, Destiny's Child is so good and it's because he's an abuser, and it's like, So it says, I approached, and mind you, this is like in the midst of him trying to figure out like who to speak to about this interview. He says, I approached their manager / executive producer, a guy who doubles as Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles. He's a tall, imposing man of about 45. I'm told that he gave up his business, he sold his house, his car, and everything just so that he could devote his entire life to this group. You don't mess with Matt. If he asked you to get his daughter home by 9, you'd have her home by 8. He says he'll get me more time, but first he wants to get to know me. He tells me that Beyonce will appear in a made-for-TV movie later this spring, called Carmen. It's the very first, get this, quote, hip-hopera. He plays me cuts from the new CD. He's as excited about the album's second single, Bootylicious, as only a proud father could be. I asked him about all the girls who have been booted from the group. Destiny's Child has had more defections than the Cuban national baseball team. 3 girls left in the last year. It's part of the business, he says. 2 of the best groups of all time, the Temptations and the Supremes, had people leave. The Temptations had 17 different members. So when you compare that with Destiny's Child, it's not really a major deal. Some ex-members have criticized the organization that surrounds Destiny's Child for having very strict rules of behavior. No drinking, no drugs, no cursing. But sandwriting is apparently cool, though. I lean forward and push my hat back and ask him about it. Let's play hardball, Mr. Destiny. No cursing. Knowles shrugs it off. Every company has a mission statement. There's a certain type of behavior that you have to adhere to. What's the big deal? I guess people have to sell magazines, he laughs. Eek! Eek, 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 eek. Scary, scary. Were you a Destiny's Child girl? Like, where did you fall with Destiny's Child?
I was pretty into them. I had the CDs and all of it.
Do you remember having an awareness that Matthew Knowles was like scary? Like, did you know who he was?
Yeah, because I was also, you know, watching like the making the videos and all of that stuff. So I had an awareness that it was her dad and that it was like a little weird and that it was like he was sort of a gruff sort of guy. I don't know how much of an awareness I had like right at this moment, but probably a little more so like a little later when they started doing more of like not full retrospectives on Destiny's Child, but like little sort of like mini docs where you got to see like the full picture of stuff.
And the girls that left speaking in code.
Yes.
Of like, we were being abused. And Beyonce was also helping abuse us and like taking part in it.
Yes.
I asked that because there's this like conversation right now on the internet, especially on TikTok, where people are talking about like, you know, they're like making comparisons and being like, this person is the new this person and Tate McRae is the new Britney Spears and whatever. And I just think like what a younger generation doesn't understand, and it's for the best, is that these people were being trained like Olympians, but the Olympics was pop stardom. Like, they're not people who got signed to a label at 25 and, you know, were told to let's figure out who you're going to be. They're people who at 7 and 6 years old, you know, were being trained for like their future pop career.
They were like little Tiger Woodses.
Yeah, like little prodigies.
Yeah.
And like that's insane. I mean, Beyonce is like the rare case. And to me, this is like very much because of financial reasons, because Beyonce was not struggling and, you know, wasn't paying her parents' mortgage per se. Like they were like fine outside of
Yeah.
her being a star. Most of those people turned out extremely fucked up and like really damaged. Like there won't ever be another Britney or Michael because people don't abuse kids like that in the exact same way like they did in the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah, I feel like that might be because there is such a different path to stardom that, you know, that's just like a little easier and you don't have to be so cutthroat. Where if your kid's really talented at singing, you know, you can just put them up on YouTube and hope something hits, but you don't have to like pull them out of school, haul them to Los Angeles or Nashville, and, you know.
Yeah.
And you can be famous without, you know, being in dance classes for 6 hours a day and voice lessons and doing all of those things. You can just sort of like, I don't know, be a little idiot and you might catch on.
You don't have to like go on Star Search.
No.
You know, or like be on the Mickey Mouse Club. Like there were so few outlets for a child to be swept up like that.
Yeah, the pipelines to stardom were so specific back then that you had to train for it to rise to the top because there really was only a certain amount of spots to go around. Whereas now there's like an infinite number of spots.
Yeah. It's not going to be the same. It's the reason that Tate McRae is not Britney Spears. And like, that's okay, you know?
And
like
that's for the best.
Yeah, like it's for the best. Like nobody will ever be Britney and that's okay. And nobody will ever be Beyonce. It's just not possible. And I also think too, like, you know, especially when you read articles like this, like these are people who are very much like Beyonce's, like Matthew's business model is based on like Joe Jackson and like Motown. And it's very much steeped A, in blackness and B, in like this old school way of making a star. And we've strayed so far from that now. Like you don't really have a bunch of young white kids being inspired by the Jacksons necessarily for like how to dance and how to make music and stuff. It's just, we're very far from that now. So it's just, I don't know. I'm really sick of that conversation. Like I'm so sick of people being like, she is the next son. Oh, it's like, no.
She's just like a good dancer who, I don't know, has an athletic body.
Yeah. And like has light hair. Like, is that all it takes for you girls?
I think it is.
Should we read some of these quotes?
Okay. When they actually get into the interview, it is so wild to me. It feels like Maya Rudolph doing her like Beyonce impression. What is girl Lena talking about? I love it, but this feels like a sketch.
It is so kooky. I was thinking in my head, this must have been, it couldn't have been any more than a few hours or days after that interview they did when they were stoned. And Beyonce's like, I love whales. I'm like, it must have been, it must have been around the same time because we have another moment like that. Where he goes, the interviewer says, anything that you haven't had a chance to do that you want to do yet. And Beyonce says, I want to pet a whale.
Oh, and it goes on and it's like, but you can't get too close because it might eat the ship.
She said, I know I see whales on TV and I'm so fascinated that it scares me. Like, if you're a huge fan of Michael Jackson and you meet him, you love him so much, it's scary. Like, you cannot tell me that girl has not just taken a hit of a joint. Come on now.
I do love that she loves whales. Like, she's in awe of greatness.
Yeah.
Of such a majestic creature. Oh, I also love when they're talking about like the different girls leaving the group and how they have all of these rules and, you know, how, you know, if you want to stay in the group, you got to adhere to the rules. And Michelle says well, first Beyonce is like, if you don't follow the rules and guidelines, then you already know that you've got to go. And Michelle says, it's like making potato salad. I might not make it right the first time. I might put too much salt in it, But once I realize I put too much salt in it, I won't put a lot of salt in it again. And then for the rest of my life, my potato salad is going to be bomb. Of course, I've never actually made potato salad. I was just trying to come up with something.
Michelle is so funny. Michelle gets no credit for being the true jokester of Destiny's Child. Like, she is so fucking funny. That made me laugh so hard.
She knows that it's funny. To just like end it with the button of,
Yeah.
Of course, I've never actually made potato salad.
Yeah. I was just saying stuff. There's another little section of this interview where the guy is like, what about the former members who called Destiny's Child a cult? Because this is like, all the former girls are getting a lot of press from talking badly about Beyonce and her dad, basically. And Michelle said, would you call working for your company a cult because you have certain rules and guidelines? And he said, well, Disney has this thing. And Beyonce cuts him off and she says, I'm not saying any names and we're not saying anything negative about anybody, but the person who was saying that we were a cult was the person who didn't show up to work for 2 weeks. And then Kelly said, it was our first trip to Australia in Destiny's Child. We never stand up the fans. And for somebody to come into the group and change that, no girl, you got to go. And I just love this time period because Beyonce has gone from being this, like, she doesn't talk to us anymore, but she used to be a shady queen. And she used to shade those girls. Like, we don't get press like this really from celebrities anymore, where like, they just talk shit. And Beyonce used to just talk shit about the former members. I miss it.
I do love that. And I do love the idea of just one of them just being like, this is a cult and I'm not abiding. And it's like, well, you're right. It is a cult. See you later.
Yeah. I know there's a compilation. Well, there's a bunch of compilations, but there's one really great one on YouTube of Destiny's Child just like being shady to each other. And one of my favorite clips is like they're in the studio and they already know that they're gonna kick, I think it's Latavia, out of the group. And they like are planning her, like they're basically like, you're done. Like Michelle's there, this girl has days. I think that may have been her last day with the band. And she's like, she needs to travel separately from them. And she's like, well, I need to get my luggage. Like, I need to get my luggage before I go on a plane. And Beyonce goes, you probably not gonna have time to get your luggage. And she goes, but I need my luggage to travel. And she goes, well, then you just gonna miss your flight. Like, on camera.
I would so be the girl who's like, this is a cult.
I know. No, because it was a cult. It was. And I don't know if you've ever heard this rumor, but so there's like a long standing internet rumor that kind of bled into like Blind Items a little bit, that Matthew was just like such a creep and like was always trying to get the girls to sleep with him. And like that's actually why it was a revolving door of women.
That makes sense. That actually checks out a little bit more.
Yeah. And he's a sex addict. He's literally gone to rehab for sex addiction. So it's like, yeah, he has these young, beautiful, desperate, poor girls willing to do anything. And they know that they have to kiss his ring. Like, I can't even imagine.
Listen, we love Beyonce, but Mama has seen some things that I don't think we would love to hear about.
There's skeletons in that closet for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
The Knowles family is a wild one.
Can you think of any other groups that had like a culty vibe, a culty reputation for those in the know?
Like music groups?
Yeah.
Maybe 3LW?
Oh.
So much culty lore.
I want culty lore.
I don't know if anything compares to Destiny's Child though.
I want to hear about, like, go full cult, like, were there rituals?
Were there robes?
Were there robes?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think like when you hear that a man was making his daughter run in stilettos around a track for hours a day and sing while doing it. That's not, like, entertainment families are already so fucking weird. Like, the Knowles are weird. The Cyruses are weird. The Spears family they're weird. They're always strange, right?
Yeah.
And they all have their own kind of unique formula that makes them very odd. And, like, just the idea that Matthew being this, like, kind of well off, not like rich, but doing upper middle class, this man that could put all this money into his obsession with his daughter becoming the greatest performer of all time. Like, it's like, did you know that Matthew Knowles, before the girls were, like, known, they had, like, meetings with different record labels and stuff, as you do. And a showcase, as they used to call it back in the 90s.
Oh.
And yeah. And, like, for their showcase, which of course is, like, usually it's at, like, the banquet room of, like, the Renaissance Hotel or whatever, you know? He had a tour stage built, and he created posters as if they were already a band.
I think I saw that in one of those, like, TV documentaries about them.
He was like a nutcase. So these people showed up at a live, like a tour for 12-year-old girls that nobody knew. Like, he was, like, crazy.
What do you think the brand of odd what was Britney's family's sort of, like, family ethos, would you say, compared to Destiny's Child?
So it was the same kind of Olympic, like, get this girl in every class possible, gymnastics, basketball, etiquette classes, pageantry, vocal lessons, but, like, chasing the dragon, like, we can't pay our mortgage.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, we're doing it because we have that bill due. And then, it's like we got a little money. Now we have to keep the money so that we aren't poor again. Like, they're, like, chasing after stability and, like, using their daughter as the thing that's getting them there. Whereas with Beyonce, it was like they were really chasing after stardom and, like, world domination, you know?
Yeah, because you don't really get the sense from Britney's parents that this was, like, a dream that they couldn't achieve themselves. Like, you know, what the average child star story is, you know, a parent who wanted that for themselves and couldn't do it. It seems like they seem like people who would have very little interest in entertainment and culture, but just, like, this was the opportunity that they had, and they're like, well, let's make it work.
Yeah. I think that's 100% accurate. Like, I feel like, I mean, I even remember reading about how, you know, Matthew would, like, turn so many things down because it didn't align with the dream that he had for those girls. Whereas, like, I think that if Lynn got an opportunity for Britney to be, like, a famous athlete or a famous actor or do Broadway or whatever, they would have just gone wherever the wind took them, wherever the money was, you know?
It is crazy that it also, like, kind of what you were saying before, it just seems like he was taking the mold of Joe Jackson, and that was his aspiration. It wasn't living vicariously through his kid. It was, this is the career I want for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is rare for child stars.
Yeah. Also, that's the answer, by the way. It's the Jackson family is the cultiest.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Duh.
Yeah. They're the cultiest entertainment family ever.
I mean, if anyone had rituals and robes, like, it would have been them.
Oh my God. And to already have been Jehovah's Witnesses and then be an entertainment family.
Oh my God, Troy. I mean, they were in a cult.
Yeah. like, you know, they'd never celebrated birthdays. Like, they were in it hardcore.
Wow.
Yeah. So interesting.
I mean, I love the entertainment industry, but oof, filled with insane people.
Y'all keep y'all's babies from it.
Mm-mm.
It ain't right. Well, the last thing that we wanted to talk about from this very exciting, very highbrow men's magazine was this, like, I don't even know how you would describe this. It's like this page of divas.
it's just like a stock, not stock, but just like photos that they clearly just bought of a few different singers, and they're just like, well, we need to fill 2 pages. We need to fill 4 pages.
It's like literally quotes from divas. Like the first one
On page 98.
On page 98, thank you very much.
And it's titled They're Divalicious. This was a time where your journalism creativity could just end at adding licious to a word.
Right. No, like literally, and how ironic that Bootylicious was like on the cusp, like we're about to get the single like very soon. It says Why She Does It. Nominated for 2 Grammys and 3 prestigious blockbuster awards. Remember the Blockbuster Awards?
Not really. I guess now that you say it.
It was a thing. They had like a very highbrow award show.
What was it on?
Oh God, I don't even remember if like it aired. It would just get a lot of press. Like you would always see like the red carpet from the Blockbuster Awards.
Oh,
and it was like
yeah, I kind of.
Does it say that it aired anywhere?
It ran from 95 to 2001 and ended. It was canceled because of September 11th.
I want to say it may have been on Fox, but I could be making.
Oh, it was on Fox, UPN, and CBS.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be cool if I could remember stuff that would like benefit my life?
Oh, I mean, listen, I think this is helpful. You're a pop culture expert. You need to know these things.
Like there's a filing cabinet in my head covered in dust that I just went whoosh, and it was the Blockbuster Awards. Like, why is it even in there?
You're just a human archival museum. You really are.
Yeah. Of dumb shit.
Yes.
But they give all these little statistics about their lives. She won a Blockbuster Award. Her biggest obstacle overcome, being born in Staten Island. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I would say her biggest obstacle might have been her abusive father, but
yeah,
or Staten Island.
Having to, I don't know, pack the car with her mom and run away to homelessness for safety.
Under the cover of night.
Yeah. She's always wanted to work a fast food drive-thru, and her phobias, she says that she's afraid of the dark, but apparently gets dressed in it. Her most dangerous
That's not nice.
Hello. Oh, I just realized that was a read. Hello. Her most dangerous liaison, she's saying at the White House. Her least dangerous liaison is that she did a video with Ricky Martin.
Because he's gay.
Because he's a homosexual. He won't try and have sex with her. Reason number 7,917 why you have no shot with Christina. Quote, all my life, my career has been my number one focus. More than boys everywhere. What is this?
I was reading through these and I just thought, who is this for? What is the point? How did we get here?
It just goes back to what you said. Like these people have to fill pages.
Yeah. Because there's no thesis statement. It's just like, they're divalicious. In what way?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, these are the new people on the scene, or this is I don't know. There's no like through line to any of this.
Jennifer Lopez's is pretty crazy given the context that we have today. It says gym buddies call her La Gutiera because she's shaped like one. It says that she just started referring to herself as J-Lo. Her best rumored investment is that she took out a $1 billion insurance policy on her booty, which was a huge rumor at this time.
That was huge. It
was major. And it was like, oh, you can insure body parts because like Mariah insured her legs.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, whoa, like celebrities are crazy. Her worst investment is a couple of years with the annoyingly angry rapper Puffy.
Yeah. You could put it that way, I suppose.
And then they make a joke about how like her worst job ever was being the girl who was hired to hide Puffy's guns. like eek. And then it says, "What's on Jennifer's mind?" Quote, "I love my butt." Like, what the fuck?
Also, you know what annoys me so much is there's a little aside on the page with Aaliyah, and it just says, "There was a time when Janis Joplin was the hottest woman in music. Welcome to 2001." With no irony or awareness to the fact that, like, you know that you guys are doing this. If Janis Joplin
Yeah.
were alive and making music in 2001, she would be chased out with pitchforks and you'd be making fun of her because she's ugly.
For sure.
You are the one.
Oil her up for a cover.
It's as if they're like, listen, we don't want to be making this magazine, but there is a gun to our head right now and we have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We respect women, but
Men love hot girls.
Sorry.
We didn't invent it. It is kooky. Like, I will say, this is a very, as a person who like didn't grow up reading this, it's a kooky magazine. It is kooky. And it's just one of those magazines where every single moment they think that they are, it's joke. Every page is stand up, and it's like none of it is funny.
It feels like they took the writers from like Nickelodeon magazine, and they're like, all right, we're just going to age you up a little bit, but do what you've been doing, okay? Yeah. We love it.
Yes, it has like Babes and, what was it called? Babes and Corpses. It has like their humor vibes.
Yes.
But I mean, there were moments that made me laugh, not the way that they intended, but because this is insane. And I just love that guy spent most of his interview trying to get a hold. We forgot to mention that making the video is there during the Destiny's Child interview.
I remember that, making the video. Ooh.
It's hands down one of the best. But like they're making so much time for making the video. Like, it's so clear that making the video is like what they're focused on, and they don't give a fuck that this guy is there to interview them.
It feels like he just saw some signage for like, oh, there's a music video being shot. I'm just gonna sneak in and see if what I can get. It's like, why would they ever schedule this man when they're shooting making the video? It seems like a double booking oversight.
Yeah, like Matthew said yes to this without realizing like what he was saying yes to, and then this guy just showed up on like a raft on this island because they're like literally in the middle of like an island.
A great interview, though. I would say it's worth the read because it's so kooky.
And yeah, it's funny. It is a good interview.
It feels like a scene from Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It's like a parody of a pop star interview.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Well, do you have any closing thoughts about Stuff Magazine?
No.
I'm shocked by that.
Where's its Pulitzer? Great work. No, it was fun, and I always love venturing into an issue that I don't have any background or history with. Mm-hmm. So this was interesting.
Yeah, if you guys have other sex forward magazines that you want us to cover that are like not for like doofuses, women centric sex forward magazines that aren't Cosmo or whatever, like there has to be more that I just am not aware of.
Yeah. I feel like so many women's magazines aren't this sex forward, but they just have little whispers and tastes because like it's uncouth to have a whole magazine devoted to sex. But I feel like I want to look at a Red Book magazine because that is like middle-aged lady sex, and I'm very interested in revisiting that. I remember my mom had a subscription, and I'd thumb through.
I would love to read about middle-aged lady sex. Like, oh my god. And also, we've said it before, but we do want to do some Playgirls. You would just have to be okay with like not like a go-go boy being the cover person because believe it or not, men didn't love posing for Playgirl.
I mean, it won't be great for our SEO, but
it's like some like LA go-go boy who like has absolutely nothing to do with fame or celebrity on the cover.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, this was fun. This was fun.
We end every episode with, so this was fun.
I know. And it's always like different levels of what that means.
Yes. You have to read between the lines. You have to really get to know us to decide and decipher how much fun it actually was.
To quote Shannon Bedore, read between the lines. But we love you guys like beyond words. And
yes,
you should definitely check out our Patreon where you can get extended episodes, bonus episodes, more long form content. You can look at the magazines. We're doing all kinds of kooky things over there on Patreon.
We got it all, baby. And yeah, see you next time, queens.
See you next week, bitches.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
This season on The Dream.
Supplies are being provided by nurses who run out in the middle of the night and purchase diapers. But the hospital is still charging as if they still have these items.
We are digging into every topic we've ever wanted to cover on this show.
It's a spinning plate analogy. The second that you stop spinning those plates, that crashes. So you can never stop working.
The Dream Season 4 comes at you weekly starting Monday, January 20th.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.